Hi everybody, I am Kathy Peters, and we are going to talk a little bit today about reading a Nebraska state standard. We're going to use some examples and kind of look at how you can understand what you will be testing for when you are a classroom or special ed or early childhood teacher. Later in this unit, we will talk a little bit about how you read a Common Core standard, but today we're going to start with Nebraska state standards. Okay, so here are a few examples, and this first one tells us the subject area or the standard we're working in, and this one is language arts. So if this were going to be about a science or social studies standard, that would be indicated right here. This next number tells us what grade level we are working in. So 0 stands for kindergarten. Here, the grade level for this language arts standard is first grade. All right. Now, the next number, this is the broad K-12 standard, okay? Number 1 is all about reading, okay? And it's all about doing that. If we look at another example, if we look at this one, all of these are about speaking and listening. So the second number here is not a 1 because it's not about the reading skills, it's about the speaking and listening skills, okay? So it's telling us which strand or which skill we are working on. So number 1, we're working on reading skills, okay? Grade level, kindergarten. 1 is reading skills. Number 3 tells us by what grade level we need to have this mastered, because starting at 3rd grade, word analysis will ask for something different. Okay, so let's look at this standard. For the kindergarten word analysis skill, it says students will acquire phonemic knowledge as they learn to read and write grade level text. So here at the kindergarten level, we're focusing on knowledge. Here, at the language arts standard for first graders, we're working on analysis, okay? So they've moved up. They're asking the kids to analyze the skills that they have from kindergarten. Everything builds on the prior skills. What kids do up until preschool helps them be prepared. What students do in preschool helps them be prepared for kindergarten. Kindergarten skills helps them be successful in first grade, et cetera, so that our students can be successful. All the grade levels, all the experiences prior help them meet the standards later when they are tested in those, okay? You may have also noticed that we have letters. Okay, these letters are indicators. They are showing us that when a student can do these indicators, they can master this standard. So let's take a look up here at the knowledge standard for word analysis. Indicator A says match individual consonant and short vowel sounds to appropriate letters when reading, writing, and spelling. Okay, so when they can do this, indicator A, it shows us that they're on their way towards mastering this standard. So here, we looked at indicator A for kindergarten. Let's look at indicator A for first grade and see how it is different. Know and apply common letter sound correspondences. Example, consonant blends, long and short vowels, digraphs, inflectual endings when reading, writing, and spelling. So we can see that they have already assumed that they have mastered this kindergarten standard so that they can build on that and ask for more analysis when they're in first grade for this indicator. All right, indicator B talks about identifying similarities in written words, word endings, onsets, which is the beginning of the word, rhyme, which is the end of the word. Okay, let's see what it's like for first grade indicator B. Use the word structure to read words. So here they're still working with the onsets, rhymes, but they've added digraphs, contractions, and common compound words. Okay, so now we've talked about the subject area, language arts. We've talked about the grade level, kindergarten, or in this case, first grade. This tells us what area we're talking about. This is all about reading. The example I showed you with the red text is all about the speaking and listening. Okay, and then by third grade, they have assumed that they have mastered this word analysis and they're on to the next one. So let's see what it looks like, word analysis, for third grade. Okay, all right, so here we go for third grade. We can tell that it's language arts. We can tell this is a third grade standard. It's still number 1, which is the reading strand, and we're working on this by the end of third grade. So here we're still working with analysis. Okay. Here in first grade, we were doing letter sound correspondence in indicator A. Here in indicator A, we know and apply advanced sound and spelling patterns. So it's building on the understanding they already have. Here they give some examples on Anglo-Saxon common roots, affixes, special vowel spellings, etc. All right, so we can see the progression from kindergarten, first grade, I did not select second grade here, and then on to third grade. So whenever you see Nebraska State Standards, no matter what subject area, you will be able to use this understanding to go ahead and read those and know what you will be responsible for as a classroom teacher.